that separates them. Princess of design swerving. Don't make me take my face off. Show you why I ain't so. Looks like I'm sick and shaped off. Thanks by the halo.
I don't really look up to anybody. I guess I have some favorite musicians that I like a lot. But I don't emulate anybody. I'm not that fascinated by human achievements. I find some things, of course, I like Jimi Hendrix, of course. There are others, but I'm not really into just naming them off. That seems boring. But I'm not really that inspired by, at one point in my life I was more inspired by people. But as I've grown more, humans aren't really I don't really look to that for inspiration that much anymore. I look more inside, just to myself and what goes on in there. Internal struggle, internal shit like that. Look inside more than outside. I'm not into really surface reality that much. I'd say I'm just in a state when I'm up there, and what I do when I'm up there is just what I do when I'm up there. I'm not putting a lot of thought into it, you know? I think that would make it contrived. I like the feeling of the way he plays the drums. Makes me feel good. Makes me get into it, you know?
Majority of like the instruments and the drums and things like that on the recordings are digital based, but even though it's like human feel because I'm actually performing all that stuff. But when transferring to live and then I'm playing on top of myself, the more I just don't struggle with how it sounds and how I still struggle with it. I'm still actually not that happy with we have a lot of ideas about like how to grow as a live band in the future. I mean, it's cool. I like what's going on right now, but that was based on the high. Like it gets kind of technical at that point. I don't like how say cymbals and even I have my snare off right now and all my drums are tuned very low. So it's like a lot more primal, which I think is more appropriate when trying to play to myself already playing. When you have all these like high frequencies clashing, it doesn't come off right. It's a lot more clutter and stuff. And so I was like, and then also I just wanted to challenge myself to see what you can do like minimally with just those aspects of it. But really it has to do with sonics, because I do like the idea of of it being minimal and nothing obstructive as far as in the past, broken down and how he's broken down when he's playing. It's where it feels more on a similar page. He has a microphone and I only have 3 drums. It's minimal, you know? You know, we had said we were going to release 2 records this year. We booked a tour that we actually shouldn't have booked in the first place and should have had the foresight to see that we weren't going to be able to achieve making the second record. It's also important to kind of state that it's when we finished The Money Store, we loved that record, but it's immediately we knew that wasn't exactly what we wanted to make. We had this idea no, because we had already started elements of No Love, Deep Web, and we're way more that felt way more in tune with what we were experiencing as people in life at that point in time. So we became kind of obsessed with the idea of completing that. We had promised that we were going to deliver 2 records, within that year, and we canceled the tour so that we can complete the second record. Well, the record's out at least, and other people, and we're on tour. So actually, we've done exactly what we said we were going to do. Really
Gut feelings.
Yes.
Gut feelings. You know when something feels good, you know, when something doesn't feel right, and it's not personal, but you do what you feel. And I mean, everything we've done is what we feel like doing, and that's pretty much what we will continue to do. We're not in the lateral movement, you know what I mean? Just stepping side to side. We want to move forward, make things better. So if it's just a side-to-side thing just to do it, we don't see any point in that.